Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today we have another subscriber-inspired edition. We're going to talk about Gen X's favorite apocalypse, and this is Volume 6, Alien Invasion. And I'd like to thank Charles Artifices 2158 for this inspiration. It was his suggestion that we do one on Alien Invasion. Thanks, Charles. I really appreciate it. And to start off talking about an alien invasion, number one, that wouldn't be my favorite apocalypse. I'll just go ahead and put that out there now. Because I've seen movies like War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise and The Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves. And, so there are scenarios there where it's just, there's no hope for mankind. And those stories in those movies, they don't take it all the way to the limit. I mean, literally, the aliens could be so far advanced from us that we wouldn't even know we were being invaded. It could just seem like, an act of God, whatever, and we would just be wiped out before we even knew we were in a fight. So talking about that kind of stuff is just kind of pointless. So we'll throw that far into the spectrum. We'll just set that to the side. We won't talk about that. That's not any fun. But if we had a situation like Bill Paxton's character described in Aliens, his name was Hudson, he said something to the effect of, I hope it's not another bug hunt. So if it was a bug hunt, that might be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? If it was like a something like that, like guerrilla warfare or something, and we actually had a chance to fight back. A bug hunt still would not be ideal. It wouldn't be an ideal situation. 10-foot tall scorpions and stuff. But in a lot of ways, that would be more like just a war. You know what I mean? If we were invaded, and you can go back through history from the Vikings invading the rest of Europe, invading England and France and all that, and before that with Genghis Khan, the Mongols invaded. Every time a civilization encounters another civilization, they either take over or, try to at least, and there's normally war. So if we were to contact another civilization, I just think the odds are that would be what it came down to. Unless greed and power and all these things are just completely removed from the alien civilization's culture. I don't know if that's even possible. If they're not just completely peace-loving, like angelic creatures, then they'll want what we have. And either try to take it through peaceful means, espionage, bribery, stuff like that, non-physical violent means, or they'll just come and try to take it. Unless it's us that find them first, and then if that's the case, but that's a whole different situation there, but then they're just screwed because humanity is nothing but violence and war throughout our entire history. So if we stumble across some other civilization in the future, those poor bastards are just screwed. But if they came here, and like I said earlier, there's just so many variables in that. The aliens' technological level, they could be at about the same as us. So if that's the case, if they're just a little bit ahead of us and they just happen to stumble across us in their exploration and then start sending troops over here, that'd be just like a normal war. But if they're too far advanced, technologically speaking, we might not even understand that there's anything going on. We might not even know they're here. It may have already happened, and we wouldn't know it. They could already be here, taking over our society on a covert level through the internet and stuff, and we wouldn't even know. We wouldn't even understand what's happening. And I'm sure there are some people out there who think that's true already, and I cannot argue with them because it seems that way sometimes. I don't want to get too deep into conspiracy theories, but yeah, sometimes that explanation makes a lot of sense. So there's that. If they were to come down here, they could just, send viruses through our internet and infiltrate every single computer system on the planet that's wired to the internet and do whatever they wanted. Have us believe in whatever they wanted. They could tell us whatever they wanted, divide us, have us fighting amongst ourselves, and just collapse our society and scoop up the remains, all the gold or whatever they wanted after shit melted down. So then also you have to take into consideration their lifespans, because their lifespan could be, their average life expectancy could be 10,000 of our years. So to them, a few hundred of our years wouldn't be anything. That'd be like a few months to us. Oh well, we'll do it in the summertime after it warms up a little bit. That would be the way they think about, 2224. By then we'll have it wrapped up, no big deal. So there's a lot that can go into that, and you can go off in all different kinds of ways. There could be an advanced civilization that send just brute warrior slaves over here and attack us just with big axes and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it could be a physical, more brutish guerrilla warfare confrontation, even though our opponent is vastly superior technologically speaking. They just don't bother with physical stuff. They just send their slaves, send their genetically grown slaves to go handle lesser civilizations. There's just so much. There's so much. I could sit here and talk about this stuff for hours, and all of the different threads of possibilities that go out. But I think the main idea would be an advanced society come down here and pretty much overpower us, but not to an instantaneous effect. Like we wouldn't even know it. Like it would just be an act of God or something like that, and we would all just be gone in a flash. So in like the two movies I mentioned, War of the Worlds and The Day the Earth Stood Still, in both of those instances, it wasn't us that stopped the invasion. In War of the Worlds, it was our viruses. The aliens just weren't. They didn't have the immune systems we do, and they weren't ready for our viruses, and our viruses contaminated them and destroyed them. And in The Day the Earth Stood Still, Klaatu just changed his mind. He figured that humanity was worth saving, so he put the kibosh on the whole thing. He put it in reverse. But in both instances, they were just so far above us in technology that we really couldn't do anything except run and hide and try to save ourselves. And if you think about it, for a civilization to reach us across those vast distances between the stars, they would have to be advanced, technologically speaking. They're not going to be cavemen flying saucers over here and starships or whatever. They're going to be a highly advanced civilization. So that's probably pretty close to what would go down. We wouldn't even be able to match them technologically speaking. So we'd just be like rats running around on a burning ship, which is definitely not an ideal survival situation, especially if they're just scorching our food supply. And in War of the Worlds, I think we were the food supply, if I remember correctly. So in my opinion, that's an alien invasion would be low on the list of probabilities and low on my list of favorite apocalypse, because that's not one I look forward to, no matter what the situation. Even if they send an army of mutant drones down here with axes, it'd still be brutal. I'd rather fight people. And I'll leave you there. If you enjoyed this video and want to join the discussion, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Share your thoughts with us and let us know what you think about this subject. It's a fun one to contemplate, at least. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by clicking on the super thanks button down below. I appreciate that for those of you who have done that. Thank you very much. Or you can hop over to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I'll put that link up here. Also, if you're interested in Gen X gear, you can go over to Redbubble and check out what we have over there. There's some pretty cool stuff. Hats, t-shirts, stickers, mugs, even pet mats and stuff. It's pretty cool stuff over there. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's Gen X branded and Gen X Thinks branded stuff. I'll put that link here as well. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out a lot, and I appreciate those of you who do that. Thank you very much. And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put them down in the comments, or you can email us, and the email's over on the channel page. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.